So, how does these work now?
What you're seeing here was posted on the band's official Instagram account back in January 2018 as part of the promotion for Ceremony and Devotion, a live album recorded during the Terzo era. This 22-second clip raised a lot of questions among fans who were still mourning the loss of Terzo. It wouldn't be long before we discovered the identity of the person in that video. In April of that same year, Ghost would introduce their brand new frontman, someone who would break the established rules of the clergy, win the unconditional love of the fandom, create anthems, and become the first to successfully lead 2 studio albums. Someone who would become one of the most important figures in the Ghost lore, the only singer in the band who still holds an active role in the ministry, and the only one who hasn't suffered the same fate as his predecessors. Welcome back to the Unholy Guide to Ghost Papas, the series where we dive into each Papa's reign, exploring their story, aesthetic, and legacy in the lore of Ghost. Let's go! As far as we know, the tradition the clergy had always followed ever since we first learned about their existence was to pass down the role of Papa from one family member to another.
My father was Papa. His father. His father's father. His father's father's father. His father's 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 father. His father.
However, that cycle seemed to break with the arrival of Cardinal Copia, a rather peculiar figure who had apparently spent years doing minor jobs within the ministry, and for some reason suddenly found the title of Papa placed in his hands. But of course, stepping into that role wouldn't be so easy. It was then that we would meet 2 key figures who had, until that moment, remained in the shadows. Sister Imperator, who we would later discover was the one pulling the strings behind Primo, Secondo, and Terzo's downfall, and Papa Nihil, who presented himself as Papa Emeritus IV on the very day Terzo was stripped of his papacy. Sister seemed to convince Nihil to let the Cardinal prove whether he was worthy of the title, and for the first time ever the band would be led by someone who hadn't yet assumed the role of Papa. Copia's personality stood out from all his predecessors. Light-hearted, almost comedic at times, he was described as flamboyant and energetic, especially during his interactions with the audience.
You see what too much rigatoni can do to you? Where's my belt? If you give me just 1 second, I'm just gonna go put it back on. Keep going. Thank you, Anna. My God. And no fat jokes. It's poor design. It's early in the tour, and I haven't gotten used to all that good food I've been eating. So, how are you doing?
But beneath the humor, Copia also showed moments of awkwardness, even vulnerability, which made him a much more relatable figure for fans. When it comes to his outfits, Copia's style was also different from previous papas. His wardrobe included a cassock with a matching biretta in both black and red variants, a casual black and red outfit, and occasionally a cape worn over it. And of course, one of his most iconic looks, the white tuxedo with a hat, inspired by The Godfather. The arrival of Cardinal Copia also brought a fresh new direction for Ghost, both musically and visually. On June 1st, 2018, Ghost released their fourth studio album, Prequelle. With this record, the band takes us back to a Europe devastated by the Black Plague, exploring themes of death, survival, and mortality. The artwork of the album is, without a doubt, a masterpiece full of details that many probably missed. The main figure is Cardinal Copia himself, a direct reference to Diego Velázquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X. He is seated on a throne surrounded by Gothic architecture, all wrapped in a medieval aesthetic. Just below, we can see three monstrous rats, an allusion to Cerberus devouring everything around them. This is a clear reference to the Black Death and how the disease consumed people while the church remained intact in its position of power. Yet, if you look closely at Copia's face, there are hints of corruption within the institution. The demonic wings and the Bible marked with 666 also suggest that a new era of worshipping Satan had arrived. The artwork even draws inspiration from Bestial Devastation, Sepultura's debut EP. The album featured 10 tracks, and its deluxe version included 2 bonus covers. It's a Sin by Pet Shop Boys and Avalanche by Leonard Cohen. With Prequelle, Ghost released 3 singles. The first one, Rats, came out on April 13th, 2018. This song quickly became one of the band's biggest anthems, and it's still a staple in every live show. Rats works as a metaphor for the Black Plague, symbolizing how the disease spread uncontrollably through Europe. But it can also be understood in a modern sense, ideas, rumors, or fears spreading like a plague. The video shows Cardinal Copia dancing through a ruined city, almost like an evil jester casting a spell, while zombies and rats crawl all around him. It has a strong 80s vibe, reminiscent of Michael Jackson's Thriller. At the very end, we see Copia riding a white horse, a direct reference to the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. More specifically, the White Rider, bringer of conquest, war, and pestilence. A month later, on May 18th, Ghost released the second single, Dance Macabre. This track is the most pop-driven and danceable song of the album, clearly influenced by disco and rock from the 70s and 80s. Think ABBA, Queen, or even Bon Jovi. The concept is inspired by the medieval idea of the Dance Macabre, where death invites everyone, rich, poor, noble, or peasant, to dance together, reminding us that death is inevitable. But in this song, Ghost gives it a more romantic and seductive twist. It's about enjoying life and love as if the night were your last. The video takes us to a 70s inspired party full of nods to Saturday Night Fever. Instead of Copia, here we see how Papa Nihil and Sister Imperator met and fell in love during their youth, something that had only been hinted at in the episodes. Throughout the night, the party guests begin to transform into sinister creatures, reinforcing the metaphor that death is always present. Alongside Rats, this song became one of the album's main anthems. But while Rats is aggressive and metallic, Dance Macabre is bright poppy and irresistible to dance to, showing the 2 extremes of the album. The third single, Faith, was released on December 20th of that same year. The title itself plays with ambiguity. Faith as in belief, but here it's portrayed as something destructive and almost violent. The lyrics are filled with irony and criticism towards blind devotion. Phrases like, I am all eyes, I am all ears, I am the wall, and I'm watching you fall, describe an oppressive, almost demonic figure. It ties directly into the themes of Prequelle, where plague and decay reveal the fragility of religion as a source of comfort. Unlike the other singles, the video for Faith is simply the live performance of the song from a Pale tour named Death. Prequelle was met with positive reviews from critics upon its release. The single Rats was even nominated for Best Rock Song at the 61st Grammy Awards, while the album itself earned a nomination at the Swedish Grammys for Best Hard Rock Metal Record of the Year. Ghost also had the chance to pay tribute to Metallica at the prestigious Polar Music Prize Gala, where they performed a cover of Enter Sandman. This version was later included on the Metallica Blacklist, a massive charity album featuring 53 different covers of Metallica songs. Ghost chose to donate all profits from their track to an organization dedicated to running summer camps for transgender children. Unfortunately, this era also carried a tragic moment. During a show in Milwaukee, a fan named Jeffrey Fortune collapsed and sadly never recovered. The band immediately canceled the concert out of respect for him and his family. Later that year, Ghost returned to Milwaukee for a special Halloween performance, not only dedicating the entire show to Jeffrey, but also donating all of the proceeds from that night to support his family.
Unfortunately, tragedy brought us here tonight, as you all know. But we're back here tonight for you. And for Jeff Fortune's family who is here tonight as well. And believing that Jeffrey might be here with us tonight, we welcome this evening a night of rejoice and celebration. Will you do that for us? All together? Now, we're gonna play a very rocking tune about something that I do believe is very important for a night like this. That is faith.
If you'll allow me, I'd like to dedicate this video to all the Ghost fans who are no longer with us, and to send a warm embrace to their families. Their spirit will always remain part of the Ghost family. The Cardinal Copia era was truly iconic, giving us unforgettable moments on stage. From his legendary tricycle entrance to his hilarious shuffle explanation.
Do you know what a shuffle is? Do you know what a shuffle is? No. All right. We're gonna perform a shuffle for you. So, I want you to clap on the 2 and the 4. You got that? All right. Hold on to your hats now. Are you guys ready? I'm asking them. All right, you are ready, right? All right? Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And so many others that fans still remember to this day.
Yes, a good one. Are you laughing?
I don't know. I'm fucking scared.
Yeah, don't laugh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But in reality, Copia's legacy was only beginning. On March 3rd, 2019, Ghost played a concert in Mexico City. Fans went in expecting just another show, but what they didn't know was that they were about to witness one of the most historic moments in the entire Ghost lore. Everything seemed normal, until Miasma. As usual, Papa Nihil appeared to play his iconic saxophone solo, but as the song ended, he suddenly collapsed on stage. The crew rushed in to help, and the crowd stood in shock. Suddenly, Cardinal Copia rolled in on his tricycle, only to realize that Papa Nihil had just passed away. Then, something extraordinary happened. A celestial light shone on Copia. Surrounded by the sisters of sin, he was slowly undressed and transformed before everyone's eyes. And then, a new chapter began. This was the birth of Papa Emeritus IV. Copia had finally proven himself worthy of the title and reached the very top. The years that followed would bring enormous success for the band, but also new challenges for the freshly crowned Papa. But that's a story for the next video, so tell me, which era do you prefer? Cardinal Copia or Papa 4? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in the Unholy Guide to Ghost Papas. And remember,
Go live your lives, goddammit.